What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to another Elite Battle League season. Welcome back to the Elite Battle League channel. I am your host, Lionheart Plays, and today we're going to be bringing you week 1 of season 4's power rankings. To start things off, I'm going to be explaining how the rankings are going to be working this season, as it is going to be a little bit different. For one, as you can see, there's no co-host. It's just going to be me. Secondly, the video or the rankings are going to be brief. I'm just going to be explaining the rankings and what I feel has placed the teams in the rankings based off my observations throughout the battle. Thirdly, the roundups, the weekly roundups, who are going to be hosted by Lonely Hermit. They're going to be going over the more in-detailed portions as to what happened during the matches. So definitely stay tuned for that. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the Elite Battle League channel so that you can be notified when these videos upload. The rankings are also going to be honest. It's not meant to disrespect anyone, and I do apologize if anyone feels that way. Again, sometimes the truth may be hurtful, but it is what it is. Lastly, before we start off, of course, make sure that you check out the description and show some love to the amazing coaches who are participating in this season's Elite Battle League. All of their links are going to be in the description below. Make sure you show them some love. And without any further ado, let's jump right into it. Starting off with the number 12 position, we have the Walton Wingles, who is coached by Nate Tube from the Dynamax Conference, the Hoenn division. This one, again, there are certain things that I feel go over others, and he earns the number 12 spot due to lack of battle experience. I think having battle experience is a big deal. He even mentioned himself how he trained his Pokemon wrong, how there was a little bit of a mishap there regarding the EVs and whatnot. However, it's not the end of the world for Nate. Learning experience, we can move on. He can move on, and practice makes perfect. Moving on to the number 11 spot, we have LA Inferno, who is coached by Lonely Hermit. Now, this one, unfortunately, Lonely Hermit, was on the receiving end of a sweep, sadly, but he earns the number 11 spot because I feel having battle experience, having battle tactics is a big deal. And that's why I have placed him over Nate, who again is the coach of the Walton Wingles. I've placed LA Inferno over Walton Wingles because the coach has that battle experience, and that gives him a very big edge. However, things that caused him to be in the number 11 spot, he shouldn't have switched. If he had stayed put and gone ahead with the plan regardless, then he wouldn't have given his opponent's Pokemon the chance to set up or Dynamax or whatever. He could have disrupted that plan. I don't know if it would have made a difference, but regardless, it would have made a difference between it being such a match. Whether it would have made a difference between it being a sweep or not being a sweep. I don't know about the outcome though. But regardless, him switching out gave his opponent that chance to go ahead and do what he did. And also, of course, it happens to the best of us. That first turn Dynamax from his opponent definitely took him by surprise. It happens. But we know that Lonely Hermit will be bouncing back, as he is an experienced battler, very good coach. Moving on to number 10, we have the Texas Tyranitars, who is coached by Alan, aka the Doorman, from the Dynamax Conference, the Kanto division. This one is pretty cut and clean. The thing that kind of set things off for the Doorman was the very bad switch-in with the Sceptile against the Pokemon that had a type advantage, versus him hitting him with neutral damage because of the Pokemon's typing. But his opponent had a type advantage despite him having a super effective move. And his opponent's Pokemon was already set up to begin with. Very bad switch-in. And I know that it haunts a couple of people watching rewatching the matches and whatnot. But he even recognized it himself. I know that he'll be bouncing back. And we just can't wait to see what other plans he has stored for the rest of his team, because it's not a bad team. Moving on to number 9, we have the Detroit Lux Race, who is coached by Game Reviews. He is in the Mega Conference, the Sinnoh division. So a couple of misplays here and why I placed him on number 9. Number 9, I feel that Max should have better utilized the Kyogre and Ludicolo synergy. Using their abilities hand in hand, that definitely would have played a sort of impact against his opponent. I feel that also looking back at I believe it was the Rotom. I believe he should have attacked while he had the chance, and that also would have gotten rid of somebody, his opponent's ace in the match. But, of course, like we've seen last season, this loss probably won't be the only, he'll bounce back from this loss is what I'm trying to say. Because Max has learned a lot. We've seen that last season, almost kicking everybody's keister last season. So, moving on to number 8 spot, we have the Essex Espers, who is coached by Pokepidge, the reigning champ from the Dynamax Conference, the Kanto division. Looking back at the match, this one was a little back and forth. It was a really fun match to watch. I feel that if he had better utilized, or if he had used Cotton Guard a little bit earlier, he would have survived more hits from his opponent's legendary. Not only that, he would have also had a bigger. He would have done a little bit more damage with Body Press. As we know, Body Press is dependent on the amount of defense that you have versus your attack stat. Perish Song may not be the best move to have on a Lapras, but we've seen his opponent handle that perfectly fine, as you can see. Or if you haven't already, definitely check out the matches. But moving on to number 7, we have the Florida for Alligators, who is coached by yours truly. And for this one, being cut clean and honest, I didn't prepare. I didn't expect, the opponent bringing the Clefable, or the Sableye for that matter. Prepared for something. I didn't really much prepare, to be honest. I should have brought a Steel move. It's on me. But despite all that, I think that we did fine. With battling our opponent. Had there not been a timer, I firmly believe, I even said it in the video, I firmly believe that Barraskewda would have wrecked shop. It would have destroyed the rest of his team, if not destroyed the rest of his team. At the very least, if there still was a timer and a little bit of time left, taking most of his team out to where, again, the same outcome will result, but the results flipped. Me being the victor, and the opponent being, for lack of a better word, the loser. But regardless, timer's a thing, stalling's a thing. We're gonna have to learn to live with it. Kidding. But moving on to number 6, we have the Indiana Igglybuffs, who was our opponent for last season. Bob, he's the coach of the Indiana Igglybuffs, aka Yeltnib. This one, like I said, stalling tactics were a thing. Even he said it. Stalling seemed to be the only way that he was able to win that match. It was still a very good match to play, regardless. It did show that he prepared for the counters and for the counters that I had set in place. But of course, again, firmly believe, had there been more time, the outcome of the battle overall would have been a little bit more different. Moving on to number 5, we have the DC Starmies, the Patriot, or Timmy B, coached by Timmy B, the Patriot rather, from the Mega Conference, the Kanto division, or the Johto division. Wow, I can't read my own writing. The Johto division, basically number 5, because he did what I would have done with the Perish Song, waited to the last minute, swapped out the Starmie. Sometimes, he attacked when he should have, and sometimes that's really all you can do, or really the only plan that really all you can do. He attacked in the right places. He set up where he needed to, and it helped him out a lot. And sometimes attack is just the only plan that you have, and it worked out clearly for this match. Fun fact: this match also won the Commissioner's Battle of the Week. So there's that. Moving on to number 4, we have the Iowa Incineroar, who is coached by Landon, aka Infernoman, coming into the number 4 in the Mega Conference, the Sinnoh division. And gotta say that with this match, it was a fun match to watch against his opponent. Landon showed great adaptability in this battle, and despite him not knowing at the time, I believe, not knowing how or why Mian Shao was recommended for him for his draft, he was able to utilize it with deadly results, despite him not knowing what it would be used for and whatnot. It showed his proficiency, his adaptability. So kudos to Landon for that. Drafted one of the most well-balanced teams in the league, and he was able to exploit his opponent's misplays. Moving on to number 3, we have the Atlanta Bravery, who is coached by Matty Ice, aka Stone Family 64, in the Dynamax Conference, the Kanto division. This one, pretty cut and dry. He executed his strategy with the Crustle flawlessly, and it led to, I believe, 4 kills before it finally went down. Still, it was a pretty decisive match with this strategy, and that's why he ranked in the number 3 spot. Before we continue with the last 2 teams, I just want to remind everyone, and if you haven't already, hit the thumbs up, make it turn blue, subscribe to the Elite Battle League channel, and hit the bell icon so you can be notified when more of these videos come up. Also, don't forget to show some love to the coaches in the descriptions below. With that being said, let's move on to the last 2. In the number 2 spot, we have the Kentucky Kinglers, who is coached by the legendary Derek, and he is in the Dynamax Conference, the Hoenn division. Not much to say with this one, as he is one of the 2 coaches that was able to execute a full 6-0 sweep, swept his opponent with Archeops, showing us how deadly and how good Archeops and in reality actually is, despite its ability and whatnot. And it's really all that can be said with this one. We underestimated Derek, but he just showed us that he knows what he's doing. Moving on to number 1, we have the TJ Gangars, who is coached by Latin Luigi, aka the PTSD giver, aka codenamed the Swiffer, because all he does is clean and sweep. He was another coach that got another sweep, a 6-0 sweep against his opponent. The reason he ranked above Derek is because of HP, I believe, was a tiebreaker between the kills, and he got the MVP of the week. Again, not much to say with this one, pretty cut and dry. The last 2 got sweeps across the board. I should also say, fun fact, that the TJ Gangars, the coach of the TJ Gangars, has the most sweeps in the EBL. I believe that they have 3 sweeps under their belt. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but don't be mean. But anyway, that pretty much brings us all in with the rankings so far. So just to go ahead and recap everything for you, in the number 12 spot, we have the Walton Wingles. Number 11, we have the LA Inferno. Number 10, we have Texas Tyranitar. Number 9, the Detroit Lux Race. Number 8, the Essex Espers. Number 7, the Florida for Alligators. Number 6, the Indiana Igglybuffs. Number 5, the DC Starmies. Number 4, we have the Iowa Incineroar. Number 3, we have the Atlanta Bravery. Number 2, we have the Kentucky Kinglers. And number 1, we have the TJ Gangars. Everyone, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, again, don't forget to hit the like button, make it turn blue, and subscribe to the Elite Battle League channel for more of these videos. Hit the bell icon to be notified if you are already subscribed or have just recently subscribed. Again, don't forget to subscribe to the other coaches in the league. Show them some love. They're amazing content creators. And without further ado, we'll be back with the power rankings for week 2. We'll see you back here. Later.